And I'm telling you, man, it's been a long time, for all of us. But anytime I hear much...
Long before the stadium lights, before the record-breaking sales and the roaring crowds, there was a young man in Oklahoma throwing javelins by day and singing in crowded college bars by night. That young man was Garth Brooks, and nobody in those smoky Stillwater rooms could have imagined they were watching the future best-selling solo artist in U.S. history. In the late 1980s, Nashville was packed with dreamers, but Brooks didn't perform like the rest. While others stood still behind a mic, he ran, he sweated, he treated tiny stages like sold-out arenas. After early rejection and a humbling return home, he finally broke through in 1989 with his self-titled debut album. Songs like If Tomorrow Never Comes and The Dance didn't just climb the charts. They introduced a new emotional intensity to country music. Then came No Fences, turning him into a phenomenon, and suddenly Friends in Low Places wasn't just a hit, it was an anthem. In 1991, Ropin' the Wind debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, the first country album ever to do it. That single moment forced the industry to rethink everything. Country was no longer a niche. It was mainstream power. Throughout the early and mid-1990s, Brooks dominated with albums like The Chase, In Pieces, and Fresh Horses, each debuting at #1. His concerts exploded with pyrotechnics, wireless microphones, and rock-style spectacle. Purists raised eyebrows. Traditionalists argued that country was losing its roots. Artists like Alan Jackson openly questioned the genre's direction. Yet Brooks insisted he was honoring his heroes, legends like George Jones and Merle Haggard, even as he reshaped the stage experience. The debate over commercializing country grew louder, but the numbers were undeniable. By the late 90s, he had surpassed even Elvis Presley in certified U.S. album sales. Over 157 million units. Stadiums packed with 50,000 fans a night. Love him or question him, he had changed the game forever. Then, at the height of his dominance, he took one of the biggest creative risks of his career. In 1999, Brooks introduced the world to a fictional rock alter ego, Chris Gaines. The album Garth Brooks in the Life of Chris Gaines arrived with dark hair, a soul patch, and a completely different sound. It debuted strong, but confusion spread fast. Without the planned film to anchor the character's story, fans were left puzzled. Critics called it ambitious, even bizarre. For most artists, 2 million copies would be a triumph. For Brooks, it felt like a stumble. And yet, it proved something undeniable. He was willing to risk everything creatively, even at the peak of his fame. Then came an even bigger shock. In 2000, at just 38 years old, Brooks announced his retirement. He walked away from sold-out arenas to focus on raising his 3 daughters. Behind the scenes, his marriage to Sandy Mal was unraveling, ending in a highly publicized divorce in 2001. For over a decade, he largely kept his promise, stepping back from relentless touring, choosing fatherhood over fame. In 2005, he married fellow country superstar Trisha Yearwood, beginning a new personal chapter. And then, in 2014, the comeback detonated across the industry. The Garth Brooks World Tour sold over 6 million tickets. Demand was so intense that 5 announced shows at Croke Park in Ireland sold 400,000 tickets in hours, only to be canceled in a licensing dispute that made international headlines. Even in an era dominated by streaming, Brooks carved his own path with an exclusive deal through Amazon Music, resisting mainstream platforms and once again doing things his way. Beyond the charts and controversies, there's another side to his story. Years of philanthropy, Habitat for Humanity builds, disaster relief efforts after Hurricane Katrina, and performances at national moments like presidential events. But time leaves its mark. After decades of sprinting across stages, falls during his 2014 to 2015 comeback tour revealed the physical toll of maintaining that legendary intensity. Recovery takes longer. The schedule shifts to residencies. The pace slows. That's not decline, that's legacy territory. From revolutionizing country concerts to redefining commercial success, from creative missteps to historic comebacks, Garth Brooks' journey has been anything but predictable. Retirement at the peak, a controversial alter ego, a public divorce, a record-shattering return. Through every twist, one thing remains clear. Whether praised or debated, he didn't just play the game. He changed it forever.